Have you guys hung out with Francois and Jesse yet?
We did.
Cool.
Yeah, Francois and I had a lunch. It was a good time, and then we set up a dinner with the wives, and that was fun. It was nice. Great people.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best. You get around the right people, and you're like, yeah, I'll have a few. You know?
Yeah.
Francois and Jesse, they're kind of like that, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Like, we don't drink a ton. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-drinking at all, but
No, but I'm like you. I will enjoy a few, but it's not. So I'm gonna get smashed tonight. It's I don't have that in me.
Yeah, I don't think Francois knows what a hangover is.
He can go after it.
I got it. No, well, because I'll see him have 3 or 4 bourbons, and then he doesn't complain about the next day. Because here's what women don't realize about Manhattans.
Yeah.
Is that they're 2.5 drinks per Manhattan. So if you have 4, you just had 10 drinks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it tastes good and it's cool in the meantime, but you know, the next day, I'm kind of hurting for 2 days when I do that now.
Oh yeah, no, I when I do it, I hate it. I feel it. And with the kids, there's no resting.
Yeah.
Like I got so much shit one time when we first moved here, and then we came back for the summer, and it was her sister's engagement party, and the next day was Marcus's.
My third son's first birthday.
Yeah, and it was like.
We're having like 100 people over.
And I took it like, oh man, I'm just back. It's my sister-in-law's engagement party. I know my sister-in-law since she was 5 years old. I got into. It was the worst I've ever drank, really.
I didn't walk home, Eric.
I slept for 3 hours. She woke me up. She's like, it's Marcus's birthday. You have to be. I have never been in so much pain in my life.
Oh.
You just know that if I have a late night, I'm up at 6 no matter what. Like, there's nothing that's stopping that.
5:30 even.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
How's your wife feeling?
She's great.
Good.
I think she's officially going into her third trimester.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's
think
getting close.
So
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh, we're so excited. So last night was really cool
Yeah.
because it was the first time that we actually saw the baby physically in her stomach.
Yes.
Like, looking like a little alien pushing on her belly.
Awesome.
It was a trip to see.
Yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
was a trip.
Like it gets really hard, and you could like you actually see
All sorts of
like
lips.
the yeah. Yeah. Does she like I remember when the baby was moving third trimester for sure, and you just feel like the brushing, or she got really bruised
So my
when the
first-
Not to get like go crazy political with you right now, but as I've never been a supporter of abortion. I just never
Yeah.
have been, and I know it's like the most heated argument people can get into.
yeah.
And the more I've witnessed a pregnancy, the even stronger
Oh,
I
yeah.
am against it.
Yeah.
You
Same.
know?
Until you see that baby,
Same.
you will.
Yeah. I can't believe it happens. Oh yeah. Once I laid eyes on Leo, like our first, I'm so excited for you because it's the most life-changing thing that will ever happen. And like I tell her now when I hear things that are happening to kids, I actually can't take it. It angers me. Depending on what it is, it's either I'm super sad or I get insanely angry about it. Like it's crazy, man.
You know, we had come over our house the other day. Do you know what a doula is?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that day that we were at PBD's house and we were all hanging out, so my wife has interacted with his wife
Yeah.
probably for the past 3 years now.
Yeah.
Well, they're not like best friends or anything, but they interact, I
Yeah.
guess, at the events, right? And she recommended this doula to us. And I didn't
I
really...
remember talking to her about a doula.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember.
I never knew what a doula was.
Yeah.
And but now that the doula came over to my house on Saturday with Alexis and myself, I see how necessary. I'm a big proponent of them because she's already giving us. She's not pushing us either way with anything. She's just there to help educate us on our own decision making. It feels like, right?
They're great.
Yeah, no, I would highly recommend them. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. And she's super cool girl too. My kid's not even born yet, and I'm like been getting like crazy emotional out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not, my kid's not even born.
Yeah.
Like I was running a meeting here the other day, and you know I was just talking about this young man. Apparently, he relapsed on drugs,
Okay.
and when I found out, he said when he went to jail he was scared to death because I was the one that employed him. He said he was scared to death to get out of jail and see what my text messages were. And
Wow.
yeah, it was like he was just dreading it, you know. And apparently I texted him, you know, hey, brother, just want you to know I love you. I don't think any less of you. And I just want you to know that you will overcome this. You can't work with me anymore today, but I do know you're a champion. You're going to overcome this, and there will be a day that you're better off for it. And I just want you to know when that day comes, I know there'll be a future opportunity for us to do business again. I wish you the best. So we started, he owns a company, a landscaping company in upstate New York now, and I've been doing business with him for the past couple months.
Yeah.
And he said his business is going from 500 grand to now he believes they're going to do $1 million this year with our marketing.
Amazing. Good for him.
And he told me, he goes, I've been waiting for 8 years to let you know about this text message.
Wow.
And he goes, and I just wanted to say thank you. And now we're doing business with each other, right? Which is like, it just gets me.
Your employee.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And which is, so I think what makes me emotional about it is that I can only think of how dark of a place he was in.
Yeah.
To where now he has come full circle and he's running this successful business and he's sober. That stuff, you know, it gets me fired up too, man, you know, like when.
Oh, of course. Of course. And then you see kind of, well, you wonder, right? How do you get there? And then you think you're going to have a kid. And the things that, the things that run through my mind about being a dad and with my boys is just, and are you doing this right? Are you doing that right? When do I tell them this? When do I push them hard? When do I lay off? It's and every one of them is different, right? I mean, the two younger ones aren't there yet, but with two older ones, we'll never. The gears never stop. The gears never stop.
So how old are your three boys?
9, 7, 3, and 1.
9, 7, 3, and 1. Oh my God, 4.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was thinking 3 for a second.
Yeah.
I heard Marcus.
It's Leo, Luke, Marcus, and Matthew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing biblical there.
No. No, they all kind of. Leo was going to be Luke, but friends of ours had a Lucas, so we avoided it.
If I named my kids Matt, Mark, Luke, and John, I would tell my kids to call me Jesus. Right? Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You know, somebody would probably take that the wrong way, but dude, I want to talk shop with you a little bit.
Okay.
Is that cool? And we've been rolling, by the way. So
okay.
We're into it.
All right.
Yeah. I like to do it that way. It like makes people like ease into it.
Got you.
Versus because this room can be a little intimidating.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you do have a way of calming things down. I could tell even from the content before, but yeah, definitely you're like kind of nervous and what are we going to talk about? But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
I want to get right into business because I think, I like to get into your journey as to how you got here, but let's just talk shop a little bit. Kind of unpack what you were talking about with Alex there.
Yeah.
You've made the transition from a contracting business near Toronto.
In Toronto.
In Toronto?
Yeah.
To now having a fully up and running and established business down here in South Florida.
Yeah.
Kind of unpack and tell the story of that transition.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and get through it quickly, but it is a little bit deep. So, I mean, in terms of how I got into it, I never saw myself getting into the trades at all, to be honest with you. I was in 11th grade. I started getting nervous about what I was going to do after high school. I started kind of thinking about, what route am I going to go? Academically, the options were there. And my father says to me, he goes, you should try a trade. And I'm like, really? I don't know, the stereotypes that exist, I was aware of all of them. And I'm like, I don't see myself doing it. And I took his advice. My school offered a co-op that allowed you to go on a construction site with 10, 12 students, and you could try various trades. My dad's like, try plumbing. So I did it. I did a semester. It was actually, we had just met at that point as well, my girlfriend at the time. And
this is high school still?
This is high school.
Senior,
this is 11th grade.
11th grade.
So it would have been, I'm Canadian, so I don't know. The year before senior.
Okay.
So
yeah, I forget the difference.
Yeah. So I tried it. I went into plumbing, and actually, I worked with three brothers. The guy ended up really liking me, and he goes, "Okay, I'd like to sign you up into the union once this is done." He ended up taking me off site. He had to sign paperwork to do it because you're only allowed to work between school hours. I did that, and my teacher ends up asking me one day, he's like, "Is he paying you?" I'm like, "No." It was like, "If you work before 8 a.m. and after 2:30, you should be getting paid." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." So it's Easter Monday, and we're working that day as well. And he looks at me and he throws me $40, and he goes, "You're a rat." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You know why." He's like, "You're a rat." And it hit me, okay, my teacher had said something. So I had a bad taste in my mouth at that point.
Wow.
And another thing that happened is when he said he was going to sign me up, I thought, okay, this is a proud moment. There's a path. And I walked into my house that day. I looked in the mirror. I thought I was supposed to be super happy, and I was absolutely terrified because I basically just saw the rest of my life in front of me. I'm going to be signed up, be in a union. This is going to be, I'm going to work X amount a year. I'm going to make X amount a year. I'm going to maybe go on a vacation once every 2 years. I didn't like knowing. At the end of that semester, I basically said, this is everything I thought it would be with the stereotypes. I'm screw this. I don't want to do it. Back to school, graduated, still didn't know what to do. Ended up finding my way back into the trade. Again, I worked with, you name it, I worked with them. And I said, I don't see myself. I see myself as more as this. And I ended up doing it long enough that I just said, okay, I'm going to get my license. I'm going to get through this. And once I'm done my license, if I change, then so be it. That's what, but I'll always have this in my back pocket to fall back on as a career if I wanted to. And I was getting to that point where I was about to write my ticket. I did not really enjoy any of the companies I was at. For many reasons. I did not see growth there. I did not see a spot. I did not see a future. But I was good at what I did. I learned that I'm a perfectionist. No matter what the task is, I'm going to try and beat everybody. That's just the way I am naturally. So if I'm sweeping the floors, I'm going to be the best guy you ever see sweeping the floors. That's just in my nature. Yeah. And I started thinking about maybe I'm going to try this on my own. My girlfriend's parents, who are entrepreneurs, they're jewelers, they basically said to me, my father-in-law kept saying, you could try this on my own. My parents are the complete opposite. They wanted me to entertain nothing about it. So basically, before I write my ticket, I quit my job. I actually end up proposing to my girlfriend and decide I'm going to go on my own. So I'm unemployed, engaged, don't have my ticket. I write my ticket just before Christmas. I find out early in January that I pass, and in February 2011, I open up the company. No knowledge, no business knowledge whatsoever. I just knew how to do the work. I had no leads. I had nothing. Started telling friends that I started my own. I started getting little jobs here and there, and I just started picking up momentum. If I worked 3 days a week in the first year, I was lucky. And the reason why I support it is because fast forward 2 years, I'm on my own, and I'm growing a little bit, and I need help. And my brother, I have two younger brothers. My middle brother, 3 years younger than me, he went to school for video game development, and finds out after that he has to go to Vancouver, California to really thrive in the position. He finishes top of his class, and he's like, I don't want to leave. Excuse me. So I was sitting at the table with my family, and I said, Anth, I need help. I have a job I need some help on. Why don't you come work with me? And my mother, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Because if I call my mother today and said, me and Anthony got into a fight, I'm never going to talk to him again, we'll be burying her tomorrow. That's how she is. She just she wants to avoid, she thinks we would have problems, whatever. He ends up working with me. He ends up staying with me. So he's with me about 10 years, and my brother, not that he's my brother, is fantastic. Learns the craft, fantastic at what he does, pride in his work, never asked me for a raise, never asked me for anything, just showed up to work, whatever I say, do it. We grow the business to a pretty good level. COVID hits, and at this point, my wife starts saying to me, COVID was tough up north. And she starts saying, I want to leave. I want to go to Florida. We've always had Florida in our blood. My grandparents, my mom's parents, started a hotel business just before I was born in St. Pete's, Clearwater, that I was supposed to end up being at. That never ended up coming, but I spent my whole life coming here. Her family has a place in Jupiter, so I got to learn that, and it's always been a place for us. And I said to her, "There's no way. How can I be gone from the business here? What would happen? You know, I had people in place. We were at a decent size." And she's like, "No, we should do it." I'm like, "No." She's like, "It's not going to change here." I'm like, "It's going to get better. It's going to get better." She's like, "No, it's not." And one day,
smart wife.
Yeah, very smart wife. Yeah. And I kept putting milestones. Like, if this, you know, it's not going to end up getting to the kids. They're not going to touch the kids. They're not going to get. And they ended up trying to do that, and that was the point where I'm like, okay, I think
touch the kids how?
In terms of forcing vaccinations on them,
right? Which
made no sense to me whatsoever. None of it made any sense, and I kept saying, make it make sense, and I kept saying it's going to get better. Common sense will prevail, and obviously that never happened, and still is not happening.
And you're a minority of this opinion in Toronto, right?
Extreme minority.
Yeah.
Extreme minority. And I was living the most normal life because being in construction, we were deemed essential. So we didn't miss one day of work at all. I went to the office every day. It was a dream. I had no traffic, and I was still doing business. I was still making money. A lot of people were suffering way worse than I was, but it just never made sense to us, and especially my wife a lot more. And I kept holding hope. And one day, I don't know, having a rough start to the day, whatever, business-wise, and my brother calls me, and he goes, "Hey, Ange, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm having a brutal day." He's like, "Me too." And I say to him, "Well, what's going on the job? Like, what's wrong?" We were on a very large project, actually, for the U.S. military contracted company in Canada. It's our biggest project ever at the time. And he goes, he's married. My brother's married. He's almost 2 years married at this point. And he says to me, "I found out Vanessa's cheating on me last night."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's crying. And I'm crying. It's my baby brother. Work with each other every day. And that was kind of the piece of the puzzle, because what happened after that point was he decided to leave her, which I was a big part in pushing. I said, I respect anything you want to do, but if she's going to do this when you have no kids and you have the best freedom of your life, you'll never have more freedom than you are right now, married in your own home, whatever. She'll do it again to you. I promise you that when kids run around. And you don't know what day of the week it is or what time of the day it is, right? So I say to my brother, and it was starting to weigh on me that he was such a good employee, and he's also my brother, and I want to see him go to the moon. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Anth, I've been thinking about either you buy into this business, we open up another company here, and Christina's really been thinking about us expanding to Florida. What do you think?" And he's like, "I want to go to Florida." He's like, I want a fresh start. I want to go to Florida. So that was when we made the decision to do it. Scared shitless.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the backstory to the expansion.
It's juicy.
To give some context. Yeah.
We got to make a movie out of this. This is good.
And
I mean,
yeah.
No,
obviously, of course. And so we expand, and I mean, you're in business, right? It's so easy to put up as many obstacles as you'd like to say why you're never going to do something, or as learned as up to that point with my experience in businesses, you just do it and you figure it out, right? So we go for the visa. We were advised by our immigration a lawyer at the time, because I told her that the goal is residency. The goal is green card, right? I don't want to go through this constant renewal process. At the time we had 2 kids, and my wife was pregnant with a third. So, like, okay, well then you're gonna go basically for an L1 visa, which is basically that the the Canadian company is the has ownership of the U.S. company, and the U.S. company is a subsidiary, right? So we get the visa, and it's the greatest moment. Like we basically had to drive to the border, Buffalo border, to have the interview, we're packed up and ready to go, and they were either going to deny us or grant us the visa on the spot. So we're there that morning. We have no idea which way it's going to go. We were concerned because obviously we're still in COVID and we don't know what approach they're going to take. They gave us the approval, and it was like we were free. I don't know how else to explain it other word than free. And my brother tells me, he goes, because he was in his own car, we were in our other car with the kids, and he's just like, I just screamed at the top of my lungs for like 5 minutes of happiness. And I guess for him at that point, it just felt like he was rid of everything he had just gone through. So we land Palm Beach Gardens, open up, and I was telling Alex earlier, we had to get social security number and had to be able to legally do work. And we couldn't, there was no way of fast tracking it. It was, you need a visa, then you need a social, and then you could challenge your trade exam. And in between getting the social and challenging, we basically tried to prove our experience so that they could kind of give us an exemption. But in the meantime, we said, you know what, let's just, the first available opportunity, let's go challenge it so we can make some money, because until then, we're not making anything. We're making squat. So we were just doing work for the Canadian company remotely, essentially.
Okay.
And we went to challenge it in Orlando. It was a 12-hour test. It was in comparison to a 4-hour test in Canada. It was brutally intense, and we passed that. And the next step after that was to take a business and finance exam. And I remember it's just we had to be urgent and searched everywhere in Florida to take this test last minute. Got the books. I went to take that. Passed that. My brother took it, passed it, and we were off and running at that point finally. And fast forward a year, we had to do our extension. My brother gets approved, and I get denied. So my lawyer says to me, well, technically you have to leave. My kids have just started school.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Baby was just born. And she's like, well, you're Canadian. They might be okay, but you take yourself off of payroll immediately. And I'm panicking. Like, I remember tearing up in front of my lawyer because like, I failed my family. She's like, no, you were ill-advised. You should never have gone for this. This visa is meant for companies that have hundreds and hundreds of employees. This visa is not meant for you're expanding and you're just going to have 2 of you, because the challenge was we had to hire within the year. They needed to see us hiring. But because we took us over 6 months to get licensed, we're also the type of guys that unless I could offer you full-time work, I'm not going to do it. My brother's capable of doing the project. I'm capable of doing the project. And we didn't have a pipeline at that point. So we just busted our ass and did the jobs ourselves. Mm-hmm. I would fly in if I was in Toronto. I'd fly in, drive there. We'd work 18 hours and get it done. And then, so we had ended up hiring one guy just after the year mark. They gave my brother the visa. They denied me. So I had to shift to an investor visa. And got through all of that. My wife was actually, I think we were still in Canada prior to this or during this period, because I have to spend a minimum amount of time here. So I was away from the family for months at a time just to make sure I did my time that I needed to do, so that immigration won't be like, well, you're not spending enough time here, so you're not taking this serious enough. We're going to just keep you back. So we got through all that, and a year later, we got hit by the tornado that was coming across from the hurricane in Tampa. Mm-hmm. House destroyed, or new house destroyed. Not livable, I should say. A lot of damage. Lost both our vehicles. I'll never forget the kids. We huddled in the closet, and I could show you pictures. This is crazy. And we get out, and it was like a bomb hit. And the boys they see outside. One of them's crying. My oldest one was oddly tough. She's pregnant with our 4th at the time. So there's been a lot of hurdles. And financially, they don't you're not recognized here for anything you've accomplished out of the country. So the most they wanted to give us when we got here was $100 prepaid visa. So
Wow.
there's been significant hurdles, and but we never thought about quitting. The opportunity here is immense. This is the best place for our children. But business wise, it's been phenomenal. It's been just to see the path that we have in front of us, and being able to execute on that I'm excited for it. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. That's the
And business
story.
is thriving today.
Business is thriving. We've assembled a really fantastic team right now, so we have a lot of confidence, because you know what it's like, right? You could sell as much as you sell, but if you don't have that team behind you to execute it, especially in the trades where we're not with these guys every day. You know, we're in the office, we're doing our thing. We'll make site visits, or mostly my brother will make site visits, but they have to be out there. They're communicating. They have to carry themselves professionally. They have to execute the work to the standards that we hold. And you know, without that team in place that are executing it, you really don't have much, right? So we've been through a lot of guys for sure. The system here is weak in terms of building up the trades and recognizing the trades to have kind of respect that goes behind it.
Is that in the States or Florida?
To be honest, I don't know. But with Florida, in comparison to what we have in Toronto, it's night and day. So while you have such an amazing, challenging way of getting a license, which I agree with, there's nothing before that in terms of a program in place where, similar to like you're going to college, where you have to do 5 years, you have to achieve this type of level of score, and if once you do that, you're going to get your license or degree. That exists in Toronto, so that there's something there that allows for there's a lot of structure, whereas there's no structure here. However, that creates great opportunity for us, because we could build a structure internally that will attract talent.
There's so much I want to unpack there. I think, this is where my crazy brain goes.
Yeah.
Have you ever, it's impossible to think like this in the moment.
Yeah.
But have you and your brother ever said this to each other? Was it Stephanie? Was that the wife?
Oh, Vanessa. Yeah.
Have you ever said to each other, her cheating on him was one of the best things that ever happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I've said it to him. I've said it to my wife often, where it's like, if that didn't happen, I don't think we're here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the best thing that ever happened to him,
it's like
too.
the catalyst to do the thing.
And you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
He's getting married this Saturday.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
What's your bro's name?
Anthony.
Ant? That's what you call him, Ant?
I call him a bunch of things. Anth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I call him Ant.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, cool. So he's in love and happy, and found himself a South Florida girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she from Canada by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow, dude. So here, like there's so many instances in my life where I think in the moment this is tragic and I can't believe this is happening. And then 6 months later, a year later, it turns out to be, oh my God, if that never happened, I never would have taken this detour.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to appreciate that in the moment, because the pain is real, the suffering is real, the chaos is real, but that's an unbelievable story. And you know what I don't get about you?
What?
Why did you keep doing the trades? It sounded like you hated it when you're like what made you just kind of keep doing it?
I didn't know what else I wanted to do. I don't know what it was. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I did enjoy. There's obviously aspects of it I enjoyed. I love being able to produce work that was better than everybody and faster and seeing it at the end of the day. I did enjoy that. And I started to have a love for that. And there was aspects of the job I started to have a love for. And then once, you get to that point where, okay, I know I have a goal line. I know that I'm in it this far. Let me get my license. And then just the jump to try the business was, why not, I guess.
Yeah.
And I did learn that in doing so, how much I love business. And that's my real passion is the team and building it and the wave and the ups and downs and seeing people succeed with you. Really. So but yeah, I don't know why I did either.
Do you think, because when you're telling the story, I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, there's a missing piece here.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it. He keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Goes back to it. Knows he doesn't like it. Do you think is it possible that what you didn't like wasn't the trades, but it was the fact you were working for someone else?
I don't, to be truthfully honest, looking back now, yes. A lot of it was the people I worked with, if you want me to be really honest with you. It was the mentality of a lot of the ownership that I worked with, or the stereotypes that I had to admit were actually true about a lot of people in the trades, unfortunately, at that time. It has changed a lot, and it does still exist as well. But that was part of it, and it was a big part of it too, was not really seeing a future, just the ceilings in place, and asking myself, okay, really, like, I don't want to be able to just get to here when I know I'm capable of that much more.
Yeah. So, okay. So do you think that, what are some of these stereotypes?
Just that
what are the ones that are true and untrue?
I think a big one of them is that you're in the trades because you have no other option, right? And in ways, a lot of it was true. In ways now, I do think it's changing because there is such a demand for it, and the world is changing as in terms of, job security towards it. That was a big one of them. One of them that I can say I was wrong about, and it might just be I was jaded to this is what I'm doing, is because this exists in everything. It's just, I worked with a lot of serious addicts that were able to keep the job, a lot of alcoholics, a lot of guys with roid rage. I worked with a lot of that inconsistency, and perhaps I think I was wrong about that. I think the biggest one was that you have no other choice. This is why you're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because I think we all know that whether you're a tradesman or an attorney,
yeah,
I know plenty of attorneys with a coke problem.
Exactly, and that's exactly, and that's where it was like, okay,
you know what I'm saying?
The grass is, the grass is, the term "the grass is always greener" is like it's everywhere, and
Right,
to think
yeah.
it's just in what you do because it's a little bit more rough and tough, or it's not a fair thing to say.
Yeah. One of the most fun times in my life was there was a summer I worked for a moving company.
Yeah.
And I was always like a really muscular guy. And when I was 19, I was a 19-year-old shouldn't be that muscular. That's all I did was worked out, 10 days a week. And these movers, these guys were all yoked, right? And I was like the littlest guy, right? But like the brotherhood and the camaraderie of just talking like dudes and bros.
Yeah.
And even though we worked from 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m. at night, like there was, some of these guys were drinking on the job and stuff, but it was fun. I will say that. Like I really did enjoy the camaraderie. I can imagine there's more of like camaraderie with a trades job than there is, working in a legal office.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, the culture that we have in our company is amazing. It's amazing, and we've retained amazing talent because of such a great culture that we have. Where, you're out there, you're grinding. You really have to have each other's back. The safety wise, executing wise, and we've been able to build that here as well. And I would say it's our strongest. One of our super skills is being able to have that culture, that family feel. That's one thing as big as we grow is the one thing I'm going to always protect is that.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt, during COVID, I was like your wife. I was like, dude, something happened here. I don't know what has been unleashed, but the people that I know are not themselves anymore. And
Yeah.
I was always a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I was always, and I hate calling it a conspiracy theorist because there's really kind of like a wacko connotation to that now.
Yes. Yeah.
But I was always very skeptical, right? And then I'm not talking Democratic or Republican. I'm talking government, like
Of course.
skeptical
Yes.
of the
All of
government,
it. Yeah.
right? And when COVID started happening, I was like, wait, what? Like this, wait, you're telling us to do what? You're telling us to go where? You're telling us to wear what? You're telling us at warp speed we got to take this and that. And it was just like people were voluntarily destroying society because of something that's murmured on CNN or Fox News. It was
Exactly.
like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's like people were voluntarily doing this stuff. And I remember, like your wife, I was like, oh, these people aren't coming back from this. They have changed.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I immediately, fortunately, I went through a divorce then.
Yeah.
Right. So no, there wasn't cheating going on, fortunately, but that divorce, which was chaotic, was actually one of the best things for me because it happened during COVID or right before it.
Yeah.
And it created that opportunity to relocate.
Yeah.
I met Alexis in June of 2020.
Yeah.
Boom, love of my life. We fast forward our relationship. We moved down here Thanksgiving of 2020. And, moving down here was such a blessing because there's so many of us.
Yes.
And it's like, we met at SLS,
Yeah.
right, with Patrick Bet David. Me and you are buddies, you're buddies with Francois.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many people that experience this chaos. We're all like, no, we're not going to tolerate that. And we all kind of came down here.
Yeah.
And I've just, dude, my circle of friends is thicker and better than ever now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same with us. We say you'd have to pull us out here kicking and screaming. We're never like it is. Like you said, the depth of relationship that we've found here, I can't say we ever really had it, and COVID was the greatest blessing in so many ways, because would we have made any changes if it never happened?
Exactly.
It's hard to say, right? And I thank God we did every day, and it really did. The time made no sense. The numbers made no sense. I'm just talking about COVID, not business wise. I mean, you put it this way, and I could be wrong, but say you're an alien, right? And you're observing Earth, and someone gives you data of the deaths from 2000 to 2023 or 4, whenever it ended, and they'll tell you, well, there was a pandemic during this time. Which years were it? They wouldn't be able to tell you. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
That's how much none of it made sense. But again, people changed, and the separation and the disagreements, it truly is sad. But it brought us here. And yeah, that's something we'll always be grateful for sure.
Yeah, it's there's some things that I have discovered over the years with conspiracy that I literally don't even want to say into this mic, because I feel like if I say it,
Yes.
it'll get, my content will start to get, I don't know, stifled. I don't know what the word is, muted, right? Because, it's obvious as day. Like I'll give you an example. Here's one, right? And I think I could probably say this without getting muted, right? Do you remember when, there was a lot of information out there that TikTok is bad?
Yes.
And that is under the pretense that what? Facebook and Instagram are not bad?
Yeah.
So TikTok is bad, Facebook and Instagram are good. Is that what they're saying? And they're saying, oh, well, the TikTok is the Chinese and they're trying to manipulate our youth. Well, I would argue that I can guarantee you that there has been plenty of girls that are 14 years old that have committed suicide because of some false look that they can't live up to, and they're unconfident about, and they see these pretty girls and they commit suicide over it, right? And, what I believe was happening with TikTok, this is just my humble opinion, is that TikTok was the best platform. I think TikTok's algorithm was giving us better content, more free speech content.
Yeah.
And I believe people were getting more relevant content to what they want.
Yeah.
So I think it was eating Meta's lunch. And I think Mark Zuckerberg was throwing a fit. And I also think because of TikTok Shop, it was very threatening to Amazon. Because clearly a video demonstration of a product is going to be better than a non-video demonstration of a product.
Yeah.
So my just gut instincts tell me that Zuckerberg and Bezos went to the government and said, dude, we got to tell them TikTok's bad because they're eating our lunch. And like, it's just obvious as day to me, right?
Yeah.
So like whenever I hear something said on the TV or the news, I hate to say it, I know it's probably not true.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
And COVID proved it.
COVID exposed everything. And it's scary in a way because it's sad that you can't trust anything. It's not a good place to be. But we have to question everything. And we have to let common sense prevail. And that's the big...
What advice would you give to me or any new parents out there? Like, what do I do with vaccines and my soon-to-be daughter? What's that decision-making process?
It's tough. It's tough because obviously we grew up in a time where it wasn't ever questioned. And when I think about it, yeah, I ask myself why. There was so much more trust in the whole institution of it at that time. It was, and I think, I don't know if it was ever rolled out here. I think the first time I personally ever started questioning it was when Christina, it was more for the girls in 8th grade when they started pushing out or 7th grade, the HPV virus or vaccine, sorry. And it was basically, you're supposed to take it if you're sexually active to prevent, I think, HPV, right? And I started questioning, like, why would you start pushing this on a child now that I'm older? It's 7th grade. Like, okay, obviously some people are active, but, you know, you're forcing this thing. And COVID flipped everything on its head. And with the kids, I mean, our 2 older ones, we did the regular stuff. It didn't feel right to me, to be honest. And with the other 2, and my wife's the lead on this. I'm not going to sit here and say I wrestle with it a lot. Because it's just a scary mindset to be in, I think, because when you don't trust anything, I feel at some point you're going to slip up on something you wish you did trust. But I'm not saying that we're wrong in distrusting it, right? So with our 2 younger ones, they got nothing. And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be completely honest. They're healthier than my older 2. They are. They get sick far less frequently. And with the 1-year-old, the sample size isn't there. But with Marcus, our 3-year-old, it's crazy. Our older 2 could get sick. Marcus is not getting sick. It's not happening. And if he gets something, it's in and out in an instant. So the data I have is, it suggests that you're better off not taking it, or any of them, really.
Yeah, no, I want to ask you some rapid fire questions, if you don't mind. I feel like at one moment it sounds like you quit your job.
Yep.
You proposed to your wife.
Yep.
And started a company.
Yes.
All in the same 30 days.
Yes.
Are you a psychopath or what was?
I'm a psychopath. I've learned I think I'm a psychopath.
Take me back to that moment. What was going through your head?
I'm a big believer in, everyone's like, well, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. I need to be ready. Now's not a good time. I'm a big believer in the second you actually think you're ready, it's too late. So I would say it's just a switch flip for me. I knew I wanted to become something. I knew I didn't want a ceiling. I knew I wanted to challenge myself as much as possible. I knew I was with my soulmate. From the moment I laid eyes on her, that was at
16 years old.
At 16 years old.
I love it.
Yeah. And I just decided to just dive in. And there was a lot of pushback, especially for starting the business. 100%. My parents, I love them to death. I have the best parents in the world, but they were completely against it. I think it was just a fear thing. They're not ones for risk whatsoever. But I just knew I wanted to go after it, and I felt like now's the time to do it. Like, and I wish I did it sooner. But I was 23 at the time, 22, 23. Yeah, and I never looked back after that.
That's great. That first year, how close did you come to failure?
In a lot of people's eyes, I was probably failing because I might have done $20,000 that first year.
Wow.
And who knows how much I actually made because I had no background. It was just learn as you go, and I'm able to do the work, and we'll figure it out from there. So from a execution perspective, I obviously was able to execute on everything I did. Financially, probably I know I made nothing. It was just, and my saving grace was I was 23 years old. I was still living at home. I didn't have much in terms of financial responsibility or bills to pay. Just whatever I did, I had to cover. And it took some time, man. It took, I don't think I had touched six figures until year 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
and it's not like you're taking home. It's not like you're profiting.
No,
$100,000.
We had a 2-year engagement. You could ask her. A lot of cash jobs at that time, obviously, and I would get paid $200. I would go. We'd have envelopes for every vendor for the wedding, and I would be like, okay, I made $200. Shove it in this envelope for the flowers. I made $300. Shove it in this envelope for the videographer. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't.
The lean years.
Very lean. Very, very lean. But it's the ride. It's fun. I mean, you don't know it at the time. I didn't know. I didn't know if I wanted to be a guy in a truck that just worked for himself, made his own hours, maybe brought in $70,000, $150,000, whatever one man could kind of accomplish, or if I wanted to grow it as big as we can. So I learned a lot about myself through the process of like, no, I like having a team under me. I like the responsibility of it. I love the responsibility of it, to be honest. If you were to ask my wife what my biggest fear is not being able to have work for a guy for the next day. That is my biggest fear.
Yeah, they're relying on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure that the average person doesn't get, that the entrepreneur takes on, right?
Yeah.
They just think it's you're making money hand over fist, but you're always wrestling with decision making,
all the time. And if in our field, if you don't have too much, you don't have enough, because you're relying on weather, or is that other subcontractor going to meet his schedule, or is that GC going to be ready when he says he is? So if you say, I have the perfect amount, all it takes is a bad week of weather, or let's call it electrical subcontractor didn't complete his work that made us ready for to come in, and I'm keeping guys at home. So you have to be in that chaos all the time.
So this is something you didn't talk about, and I think this would be great inspiration for somebody. Yeah. Whether it's somebody starting, because you basically started a brand new business down here. Like, sure, you had experience, but you didn't have the connections. You didn't have the leads. Like, you had the wherewithal and the knowledge. Yeah. How did you drum up your first few clients down here?
So part of the visa process was you had to lease a unit. You had to have an office space. So I had to enter a 1 year, it was a 2-year lease, without knowing I was ever actually going to be able to get here. Yeah. That was part of the plan, part of the deal. You have to do it. And we had an agent looking for us, and I was picky with where I wanted to be, and I knew the area well, and he wasn't finding me anything. So I just kind of took matters into my own hands and started looking. I found a spot, which was our office now, and I knew there was a few GCs that were in that plaza, that little strip of units. So I was able to get one right beside a general contractor, and introduced ourselves, and they gave us a shot at some stuff. And this guy was pretty well established, knew a lot of guys in South Florida, and he referred us to a few contractors, national guys that tried us out, and we've been their go-to ever since. And then we've just kind of piggybacked off of that momentum Big, obviously, and I think in business, all businesses, relationships are everything. Yeah. And we've been able to get them in our door and kind of keep them and be able to execute on everything for them across Florida. And I met some other people. I met another Canadian that's been down here for 10 years. He made a couple of introductions. We were able to get our foot in the door with them and just kind of pound it out, really. Grind it, pound it, make sure that we give them what they need. And our job is to make sure that, like any job, I'm not a headache. You have enough headaches. Let me do what we got to do for you, and you don't have to worry about us.
Yeah. I always tell people one of the best ways to drum up business is, it sounds counterintuitive, but go spend some money.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's say, I don't know, there's a business that does a gym.
Yeah.
A bodybuilding gym. And let's say you want them as an account.
Yeah.
To sell them marketing stuff, right? Or whatever. Go sign up.
Yeah.
Go join the gym.
Yeah.
Go buy some products from them. Go buy some personal training.
Yeah.
Right? Spend a few $100.
Yeah.
Have an organic conversation. Spend some money. If you go spend money places, it creates an opportunity to network.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you bought an office.
Yeah.
You had to invest in the office. And what that did was what that did. That's the, you're getting me speaking. I keep hearing process, and I want to start talking Canadian.
Yeah, it's I don't like the accent.
No, it's
people
okay.
say, yeah.
It sounds awesome. Process. It's probably the right way to say it.
Process.
But what that did is it got you closer to this other guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't understand that proximity. Sometimes you have to pay to get somewhere, like paying to get into Valuetainment or other networks. Like there is an ROI if you can get yourself next to the right people.
Of course. Definitely strategically, it's important.
So you're doing all commercial jobs? Is that what
We're mainly commercial. Yeah. A lot of retail as well. So we've done restaurants, retail, projects like the building you're in, medical. We've done some custom residential as well, but I wouldn't say it's our bread and butter.
You got a great story.
Thanks.
No, it's a great story.
Yeah.
No, it's a story of, like, I don't know, competence and confidence. I feel like is your winning strategy.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's tough. Especially, what the biggest challenge I would say is once you become a parent and trying to do it all and still accomplish where you want to go, but be present. When they're babies, it's okay. But once they start to have that personality, that's the biggest thing I would say I wrestle with. That would be the biggest challenge for sure.
But truly being a present father.
Yeah.
But also providing
to the level that I want to provide.
Yeah.
And what that means.
Yeah, no, I've been wrestling with that too mentally. And I think it's tough. I had a guy in my podcast last week.
Yeah.
And he got super emotional when he said this.
Yeah.
He said that he's a go-getting entrepreneur. He said that his dad was a real estate guy, and he said that if his dad had an opportunity to make $20,000 at 6 p.m., his dad would say no because his son had a baseball game. And he cried because his opinion was that wasn't the right decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. His opinion, I'm just telling you. Looking back, he thinks his dad should have been a better provider.
Wow. It's funny you say that because I just had somebody, I won't say the relationship I have with him, but he lost his father. His father did well. And he told me his father was never around, and he would have preferred to be on food stamps and have his father there than have the money his father made.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's crazy because one of the big things for me, and maybe perhaps it's where we grew up, is that all the men that I knew that achieved some level of success were horrible fathers. And big chip on my shoulder is that I want to be that dad and I want to achieve that success. That's a big thing for me. But it's tough because when it's 5 o'clock and your son has a soccer tryout and you know you got a lot of work on your plate and you're that driver of that business, what do you do?
What do you do? What do you do there? No.
Yeah,
What do you do?
When my boys, my first two were young, I was working a lot, like 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it was probably only Sundays that I was home. And then I would say the move here has been a big shift because we just have each other. You know, we just have each other. It was, I would say we have a great marriage, but moving here has like next leveled it, I would say, because we got nobody else. We're back home and we have big Italian family and everybody around and no one else. We're the oldest two and we're the only one with children. It's very easy to lean on everybody and they want to come and help and they want to come spend time with the kids. We're here, it's like, okay, came here with two, we have four. Two of them are in extracurriculars and they got to go to school and they got to get picked up. And how do you watch two? And we have some help now, but I've been blessed to have a team in place that has allowed me to be very present. But something that dawned on me earlier this year, and I was kind of unhappy, is that I was feeling like I did kind of coast a bit. And there was this massive stress of the move, plus the tornado, plus the children, plus the visas. And I'm not trying to make excuses because I chose this. Nobody put a gun to my head, right? There was a lot of factors. That made it challenging. I think we've kind of gotten past that, and we really have a lot of momentum. And I looked at my wife, and I'm like, I feel like it's just kind of monotonous for me. And she's like, yeah, you've coasted. And when she admitted it, that really turned it on its head, right? And so I'm in this phase now where it's like, no, it's time to find another gear and be that dad. And I'm at all those things. I'm at my son's golf tournaments. I'm at my other son's soccer, and I'm only not at one because I'm at the other. And I'm lucky to do that, but I have to find that time, and it's just basically finding a way. Instead of chilling at 10 o'clock, just get that work done. Yeah. Get ahead, because if you want to do it all, there's a way to do it. I won't go off of that belief.
Yeah. No, I think if the choice, and this is just me speaking for probably most fathers, if you're in a destitute place and the choice is that daddy has to work from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night to feed the family and to provide shelter, that's what you do.
Yes.
The goal is to hopefully ascend past that position.
Yeah.
But if the choice is family survives or dad is distant,
you're out there. Yeah.
Go get your ass to work.
Yeah.
Get your ass out of the house.
100%.
But then it's also your responsibility to probably, if you're in that position, to probably take it so seriously that you either ascend at your company and become a manager or whatever, so you don't have to work those hours, or maybe become an entrepreneur and ascend to where you do have the choice over your schedule. You don't miss the recitals, but you had to be a little late to the soccer game because you had a 6-figure job you were on.
Yes.
Right? So the one option that is a no is just to be the deadbeat.
100, absolutely.
It's because I want to be home with my kids.
Absolutely, because the
Right?
the goal is freedom, and
Yeah.
it's the level of freedom that you determine. One father might see that freedom as, I do my 9 to 5. I know I'm going to provide. I know I could provide this to my kids, and I'm happy with if it's just that, and I'm there, right? Or the other level of freedom is, I want to be able to have my kids in private school. I want them to have access to the best. I want to take them on as many vacations as possible. I want them to eat as much as they want. I want them to experience as much as I can give them. I want to lay out a future for them as much as possible. Whatever that freedom is. Exactly. The choice is, don't be a deadbeat. That's no choice. Sorry. But I guess at the end of the day, it's determining the level of freedom you want to achieve to be there for them.
I think on the flip side, the last point I'll make is I heard Tom Brady say something really fascinating, because what Tom Brady was chasing was GOAT status of all athletes ever.
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was a comment he made one time, you know, he was chasing Joe Montana, and he said something like, oh, Joe Montana didn't have 6 championships. He was chasing Michael Jordan.
Yes.
You know, for this like supreme athlete of all time, at least in American sports, right? And but I heard him say maybe about a year ago that he did, because of that journey, he didn't have the same relationship with his kids that he had with his father. And I thought that was really interesting, because that tells me there's, like, I wonder if there's regret in there, because that wasn't providing. This is interesting. That's not for providing. That's him and his own accomplishments that he was striving for.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't have regret, do you think differently of him as a person?
Probably a little.
Yeah. I think he has to have regret. I think, how can you not have regret? Because once it's all said and done, what's going to be his biggest accomplishment? Is it going to be his kids, or is it going to be the championships?
Yeah.
Because that's a real legacy, is your kids. Like, I could accomplish all kinds financially, but if my kids aren't confident, if they don't know that I'm there for them, if they don't know who I am, what's the point?
Yeah. Especially if the daughter's, and I don't know if he has a daughter or not. You don't want her having daddy issues.
No.
You don't want her, like, that's all I'm thinking about now.
Right.
I'm going to love my little girl like crazy, so she's not yearning some other man's attention. No
exactly. Way. Her biggest challenge is going to be finding a guy that can become remotely close to who you are.
Yeah, that's the goal, yeah.
Right?
That's the goal. This was good, man. You got a cool story. I think you got a very inspiring story.
Thanks.
I love hearing that you want to go another gear, because I'm in super psycho mode right now. And I vibe with that.
Yeah.
So let's kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Take that handsome Italian face, and don't say the word process. I'm just kidding. Do a quick little 30-second kind of elevator pitch on your business, and if anybody does want to consider to do business with you, where can they find you?
Yeah. So the business is AV Mechanical LLC. We operate in Toronto and South Florida. We specialize in commercial plumbing, renovation, construction, you name it. We also do chill work, boiler work. You could find us at avmechanical.com. Social media is AV Mechanical for X and Instagram as well.
Guys, thanks again for tuning into the Gold Coast podcast. And sorry the tech went out on us, but make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you again.